Hey everyone, welcome to the Optispan podcast. On today's episode, I want to do a brief public service announcement about a deepfake YouTube channel that was brought to my attention called Time to Thrive. This particular channel is propagating a whole ton of wellness misinformation and making it appear like it comes from Dr. David Sinclair, whom many of you are familiar with. And for those of you who follow me, you know that I struggle mightily with much of what David says, which is too often full of exaggeration. So I think it's really unfortunate, but we don't need bad actors using AI to muddy the waters even more. So this site basically creates fake videos made to look like David is presenting them. They are 100% made by AI to simulate his voice and mannerisms. So I know David, and it took me about 5 minutes watching one of the videos to be like, something's a little bit off here. I went and looked in the channel description, and it's actually fully disclosed there that this is made by AI to simulate David's voice and mannerisms. It's in the description. But at least based on the comments, the vast majority of people are not seeing that and don't realize that it's fake. So I'm going to assume that David has nothing to do with this site, give him the benefit of the doubt. Presumably somebody is out there monetizing this site for personal gain by giving out really, really terrible misinformation. So what's striking to me, though, is how effective this site has been. It's gained 36,000 followers in 3 weeks. I'm sure by the time this video airs, it'll be over 40,000, maybe 50,000. It's full of bad wellness information that gullible people are eating up. And so to give you a feel for just how bad this content is, here are an example of a few of the recent videos. So one of them is titled, "This drink can regrow stem cells and burn fat." And it basically claims that green tea and coffee can regrow stem cells and burn fat, which is absolutely false. Specifically, it claims that tea, coffee can, quote, activate stem cells, regrow tissue, regrow stem cells, target cancer stem cells. None of that is supported by credible human data. Complete fabrications. Now, sure, you could argue nobody is going to be harmed by drinking coffee or tea, and I generally agree with that, with a few rare exceptions. But the harm comes from spreading pseudoscience across the internet, and I'll get to in just a minute some of the reasons why I do think that this kind of thing is actually harmful. Another video is titled, "Olive Oil Fasting Doubles Autophagy and Stops Insulin Resistance," Dr. David Sinclair. So this video claims that if you drink a couple of teaspoons of peppery extra virgin olive oil 1 to 3 times per day, optionally with medium chain triglycerides or ketone salts, you can, quote, flip AMP kinase on, suppress mTOR, double autophagy, improve insulin sensitivity, and deliver a full metabolic reset in 24 hours. This is utter and complete bullshit, guys. And there's another one that basically tells you to drink molasses to prevent diabetes. I mean, come on, don't drink molasses. It is as ridiculous as it sounds. And again, I'm just blown away that people believe this nonsense. Yeah, of course, extra virgin olive oil can be a healthy choice in the context of a high-quality diet. Drinking a few teaspoons a day is not a longevity hack. It's not going to make you healthier. Molasses is a concentrated sugar. It is not a healthy choice. Just stop. Okay, so I'm not going to go through the rest of the videos on the site. They are all more or less the same level of complete garbage. And yes, in some ways, David has brought this on himself by saying so many absurd things over the years that it's not even obvious this is a fake to people who know him. Hopefully, nobody will make a similar AI fan site for me, but if you do see videos where I'm suddenly talking about reversing aging in 24 hours using only bananas and quantum breathing, be skeptical. Okay, so now you may be thinking, what's the big deal? Maybe it's not. Maybe it's unavoidable. But I do personally struggle with how hard it is to separate the signal from the noise in the longevity space already, and this kind of thing just seems to be making it more difficult. And there are a few reasons why I think this kind of thing is particularly damaging. I think the more misinformation that's out there, it erodes trust in science and medicine. When these sorts of false claims get circulated widely, people begin to doubt legitimate experts and evidence-based guidance, and it undermines trusts in scientists and physicians and institutions, making it harder for those of us who are really trying to put good quality information out there to actually gain traction. I also think even if the hacks are harmless, there is an opportunity cost here. People waste time and money and attention on ineffective and frivolous stuff instead of interventions that actually work. They also sometimes delay getting medical care, real medical care for real conditions, instead hoping that these fake hacks will take care of their problems. I think this is particularly common in the areas of metabolic and cardiovascular health. Instead of taking real steps to reverse your diabetes or prediabetes, people start drinking peppery olive oil and molasses or popping supplements, which does nothing to help them and just allows their conditions to progress. And then finally, I think this contributes to the ongoing normalization of low evidence standards. The more we tolerate pseudoscience, the lower the bar becomes for proof. I think a lot of people already don't know how to evaluate data or think critically. And this sort of cultural shift really blurs the line between evidence-based care and marketing. It's also sort of a vicious cycle, right? The lowering of the evidence standards makes it easier for the bad actors to gain large followings, like this site, which further lowers the evidence standards, which makes it easier for the bad actors to gain large followings, like this site, and generally degrades the quality and tone of the dialogue. So how can you avoid falling for longevity lies? I think there are a few tips. It's not easy, but I think there are a few things you can do that can help you identify credible information from credible people. Number one, find trusted voices. I think you need to ask yourself, whoever you're listening to, what are their credentials and what are their experience? Do they actually have a knowledge base in the area they have claimed to be an expert in? Do they have a history of honesty or dishonesty? People who lie to you now are going to lie to you in the future. I really don't understand why so many people listen to individuals who have a track record of not telling the truth. And then what is their incentive? What are they trying to sell you? Are they trying to sell you something? So I think identifying people who do their best to be accurate, don't lie to you, have credentials and expertise in their field, and optimally aren't trying to sell you something, they're more likely to be the kind of people that you can trust. I think you also want to be aware of people who use emotional manipulation to control you. And I mean, in particular, fear tactics. You hear a lot of influencers these days telling you, you need to be scared of the food you eat or what you drink or the air you breathe. Oh, and by the way, buy my products, which are free of those contaminants, right? Those people are trying to control you to make money. They don't care about you. Be skeptical of too good to be true or easy hacks, like drinking molasses to reverse diabetes. That's too good to be true, and guess what? It's not. Be skeptical of people who speak in absolute terms or one-size-fits-all solutions. Everybody should take 20 grams of creatine. No. And then do your best to build a reasonable level of scientific literacy so you can help identify some of this misinformation at face value, right? And I think it takes some work, but probably most of you who are watching this podcast, because I have a very, very intelligent audience, have that level of scientific literacy already. So keep trying to build your scientific literacy so you can recognize the noise from the signal. Okay. Or the signal from the noise, as it may be. That's my public service announcement. As always, thanks for watching the Optispan podcast. I would encourage you not to go watch the videos on this website, because then you're just putting money in the pocket of whoever the person is that made this website. But instead, focus on the foundation, ignore the noise.